Our first equation is x squared minus 8x equals negative 5. This equation is not factorable even if you bring negative 5 to the other side, so you're going to have to complete the square. The first step of completing the square is to identify b in the ax squared plus bx plus c form, the Stern quadratic form. So for this equation, b equals negative 8. Afterwards, to figure out what you're going to have to add on both sides to complete the square, you do b divided by 2 squared. So for this equation, it will be negative 8 over 2 squared, which is equal to 16. So therefore, you add 16 to both sides. X squared minus 8x plus 16 equals negative 5 plus 16, which is 11. Alright, so afterwards, in order to simplify x squared minus 8x plus 16, you can factor, but there's a much quicker way. So if you factor, your answer is going to come into the form of x minus b over 2 squared. So for this example, it will be x minus 8 over 2 squared, which is also x minus 4 squared. So then it will be x minus 4 squared equals 11. So now we're trying to find x. So therefore we would square root both sides. It will be x minus 4 equals plus or minus square root 11. The reason why it's plus or minus because you don't know whether it was positive or negative, because if you square a positive square root 11 and a negative square root 11, they're both going to come out as 11. So now you want to isolate x, and that will be x equals 4 plus or minus square root 11. Our second example is x squared plus 12x plus 8. To make it easier for ourselves, we're going to bring 8 to the other side. So it will be x squared plus 12x equals negative 8. So now we're going to want to identify b. And in this equation, b equals 12. And then we're going to do b over 2 squared to figure out what we're going to have to add on both sides. So that will be 12 over 2 squared, which is equal to 36. So you add 36 to both sides. X squared plus 12x plus 36 equals negative 8 plus 36, which is 28. Alright, so now you're going to want to do x plus b over 2 squared to simplify x squared plus 12x plus 36. The reason why is it's x plus b over 2 squared and not x minus b over 2 squared like the previous example is because b is positive in this example, while b was negative in the previous example. So for this equation, it will be x plus 12 over 2 squared, which is x plus 6 squared. So x plus 6 squared equals 28. So now you're going to want to solve for x. So you're going to square root both sides. X plus 6 equals square root 28, which can be simplified to 2 square root 7. Plus or minus 2 square root 7. Then it will be x equals negative 6 plus or minus 2 square root 7.